But it was just cool to hang out with. I always say life is so weird, right? Because like I think about it with like Kerry King from the band Slayer. I always tell the story when I was 13 years old. I bought front row tickets at this. They were playing not really big arenas. They got bigger as it got older, which was really weird. But it was still maybe 1,000-person arena or something like that. Maybe even a little less than that. But I remember at 13 I bought front row tickets to see Slayer, and then years later, Kerry and I are hanging out. We're friends. We hang out all the time. And then, and now, same thing. I mean, when I was younger, watching Eddie Belfour, beat up on my Red Wings here because I've always been a hockey fan. And now all of a sudden he's hanging out with me at the
so
zoo,
wild, right?
It's just a weird thing, but really great guy, great family. Really enjoyed him, and thank you for the whiskey. So you guys can go to Belfour Spirits on Instagram and give him a follow, man. If you want a good bottle of whiskey or bourbon or whatever it is.
Just want to support the brand.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing. So, but it was a fun time. I just wanted to share because it was again meeting. It's one of the things that's so weird. I think about my life in reptiles / YouTube is the amount of people that I get to hang out with. Like for instance, I told you about the Gas Monkey guys. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Gas Monkey on Discovery Channel. Which is a show I always liked. Like they want to do a collab with us. And they want us to come down to Texas and work with them, and it's just I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I've met and hung out with so many people and celebrities. It's really crazy. And all I am is a guy that just cleans snake shit and puts a YouTube show on. It's weird. It's almost
bizarre.
Surreal at times that you can get to that stage. But Eddie was great.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Wild Boy Dev says, "What's going on? Glad to see you guys are doing great. What up, Dev?
What's up, Dev? Yeah, he sent me a picture. Man, I tell you what, Taco is getting huge.
No way, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's really grown a tremendous amount.
We just seen it.
Yeah, just in the last time we've seen it, it's grown a lot. It's a king cobra named Taco, and so he sent me a video today. It's such a beautiful snake. I mean,
one of the prettiest ones I've ever seen.
One of the prettiest kings. I mean, for sure, and well behaved too. So it's going to be good. It's funny because Bruce was talking about wanting to get a king cobra. Were you here when he was talking about it?
No, but I know he's always wanted to. Yeah,
and I guess Will Nace, friends of ours, was like, well, I've got one for you. But it's the one that like literally wants to kill everybody. It's like, I mean, even Will is like, this snake is ridiculous. This snake is the worst king cobra I've ever seen, as far as like worse than Lilith, you know? And Bruce like, well, I don't want that one, you know? But there's a fine line. You probably want one that has a little spice in it.
A little piss and vinegar.
But the Taco's almost got no spice because it's been so habituated to, I mean, you think you could hold it like a corn snake.
You could if,
but still an absolutely wonderful snake.
Python Viking came back and says he seems to be the only Norse pagan at least in North LA.
Oh, in North LA. Then.
Not LA. Louisiana,
yeah.
sorry. Also, in a few months, I'll be trying to get a pair of ball pythons to breed for the first time.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I assume that was going to be the case because most of the Norse are like up in the north. You know, it's like
Vikings. I mean, literally, that's why they call them Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see that many down there in the Louisiana area.
It's crazy to think, right? That Vikings came and then like sailed the Great Lakes. Like that's nuts to think about.
It is wild, to think that. I mean,
love that.
Yeah, you wonder how they got down the St. Louis, Canal and all that stuff. Like,
it's crazy.
It's wild that they got through. But Vikings were Vikings, man. That's what made them what they are.
Pushed through, right?
Yeah, my buddy Burnsy was in the show Vikings. Actually,
I forgot you told me that. Yeah. That's so cool.
I think it's just one episode, and I think he got beheaded or something like that.
That sounds great.
But yeah, he was in the series.
Good show.
Vikings. I haven't seen any of it. I've heard it's amazing, but there's a lot of seasons, right?
Yeah, there's way too many. See, I'm like once I get past 4 or 5 seasons, I usually fall off because then it seems like they're just putting stuff together.
Yeah.
So I've watched the first 3 seasons of Vikings. It's really great. I don't know if I could get into watching 10 seasons of any show though.
Yeah, I can't get into anything that's over 2 seasons.
Yeah, like Ozark's great. We're on season 3 coming, and I think if they went to 10, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, and they're done after this one, right?
Which that's what I've heard. But
yeah, I think they're done after 3.
Just can't wait.
It's going to be good. When is this supposed to come out?
I don't know. I remember the last one came out around March because it came out right when the pandemic started.
Yeah, I remember, and that's when I started because I didn't watch TV ever before the pandemic.
Yeah,
I never watched anything, and then I think the first series I watched was Ozark. I didn't watch very many series, quite frankly. I mean, I didn't get into there's so many series that are great that I didn't get it.
There is a good new one,
Ozark was maybe the only. I mean, outside like the Marvel stuff, I watched that stuff, but I don't think I watched any other series on. Did I?
What was that one? The Haunting of Hill House, but that's only
Yeah, Haunting of Hill House. I watched that,
but the
I
second
didn't
one
watch the
wasn't that
second.
good, though.
I watched like 2 episodes. Of
wasn't
the second
good.
one, and I didn't get through that. So, so yeah, I'm just not a series guy, to be totally honest with you. But Ozark is amazing, and
you should check out. I just started watching
Stranger
it.
Things is great. Too.
Yes, that's another banger. You got to check out. It's called Peaky Blinders.
Wow.
And it's about like the Irish mafia and the Irish rebellion army and stuff. It's really good. I just started watching it. It was really good, like Ozarky vibes in the sense of crime. But
interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Melissa says, so happy that you're getting your groove back.
Yeah,
Fabry.
yeah. I mean, we're in there. I hope that, I always say that, mental health, like getting past it is like success builds success, right? So when you feel good more. When you feel bad, you feel bad more, because you get in your head and you like.
Is this, I'm going backwards?
Yeah,
or
you're
whatever?
hypervigilant and stuff like that. But, this is my second go around at this. I think I've told you guys that, 18 years ago, I went through a similar experience. I think it's a little bit different, but similar. I think that I created a lot more tools this time.
Yeah.
Did a lot more therapy this time. The meditation thing, the list goes on and on. So hopefully, this will be the last. Yeah, hopefully this will be the last time I get through it. But it feels like I'm firing back up and feeling a lot more like myself, and I'm not going through the motions as much as I feel like I was for a while. Where I was still happy to be here. I just didn't have that same zest that I always have. Like I could still look at an animal and light up, and I could still spend time.
In moments.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But yeah, it was fleeting moments as opposed to like from day to night. Having like in a normal 15-hour day, probably 14 and a half hours. In the past, I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I might have those few like, oh shit, this sucks or whatever. But lately it's I wouldn't say it's been exact reverse, but it's been more like if it's a 15-hour day, probably 4 or 5 hours has been good, and the rest has been just going through the motions.
Yep.
And I don't like living that way at all. So I'm glad that we're slowly getting there.
Kathleen says, how do you keep the haters from getting you down? I just had a trusted partner screw me over again.
Yeah.
Why are people like this?
Well, it's a tough thing, and obviously anyone that knows that I get probably, in the reptile community, I probably get the most hate. Maybe not the most, but I get plenty of hate. I get my share of hate and have had it for a long time. I think that I can boast, proudly that I probably have the largest community of hate.
I got my own group.
I got my own group on Facebook that hates.
That's like impressive. Like I don't like only like presidents get that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
pretty crazy stuff. But I think that you have to come to a point. It's harder when it's a personal thing. Like if someone screwed you over that was like a partner or a friend, that's different. That's personal. And I've had lots and lots and lots of that happen in my life, and it's been very difficult. But when it comes to like internet hate and people that hate on you that you don't even know, if let's say you have a Facebook page or an Instagram page or you put out a YouTube channel and it gets hate, you just get to a point where you just don't care. You just literally don't care. And you really do start to feel bad for the people. You're almost like, gosh, what a miserable life you must live to feel that way about someone that you don't even know. You know what I mean? Like,
how do you treat the people you do know?
Yeah, and listen, I understand that I serve myself up to people. I do a lot of goofy stuff. It's just the way it is. So my advice to you is just stop caring, and if it's personal because it's a friend or something like that, it's a different story. And then then you have to just work that out. And listen, I have in the past gotten screwed over a lot by people, even friends and very close people. But I choose to not put up a wall. That's my decision, which means that I'm setting myself up to potentially get screwed more in the future. But I would rather be a trusting person to the people around me that I love and put myself into some vulnerability as opposed to being a callous person that doesn't trust anybody. Yeah. So that's a decision you have to make. You either say, hey, if I want to continue trusting people and being that type of a person, then there's a chance I'm going to get screwed because there are bad people out there.
And I agree with you, Brian. That's my way I like to live too.
And that's the way it is. But some people go the other way. They get screwed several times.
Get jaded.
And then they get jaded and they say, I'm not going to trust anyone anymore. I just choose not to live that way. But I am more savvy than I was before.
Yes.
I still trust, I still do things, but at the same time I still have that
weariness,
experience. Yeah. I have the experience that to recognize when things are starting to go south.
Of course.
Yeah.
Scottish Rob says, as a boa guy, seeing you get some boas Are you looking to produce some in the near future?
Yeah, I really need to. It's been a nemesis of mine. I've produced boas in the past, but not successfully consistently. So it's one of those things that it's a mountain I wouldn't mind climbing at some point.
I agree.
I just don't know when that mountain's going to get in front of me. But yeah, I think I love boas, man. I love boas. Don't think for a second that I don't love boas, because I really do. But whether or not in the next few years I'm going to get deep into them, I don't know. It goes back to what I said in the beginning of the podcast, which is like that kind of pulling in both directions. Part of me is like, yes, I want to get a bunch of cool boas, and then the other part of me is like, well, Brian, that's not what you're trying to focus on right now. Right? Yeah, you're not trying to focus on growing more breeding stock. You're trying to focus on slimlining and making kind of a better collection as opposed to quantity. And then focusing on educational outreach and stuff like that.
Simple Man says, do any of the other tortoises roam around when Matilda comes out?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
When when it's a jailbreak, she's out.
Steve started doing it now too. Do you know that he started
Steve's pushing?
jailbreaking? Yeah, and it's so funny because he's a little quicker.
Yeah. Oh,
so you won't even see him, and you'll just see the door, and then they're gone. Dude.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, they'll jailbreak, but it's okay. I don't mind them walking around. They can't get into any trouble or anything like that, so they're fine.
Elise Pyro Chick, our girl, we haven't heard from her in a minute. She says busy day.
I talked to her quite a bit,
but tuning in to send some love. Brian and Jay, I love you, and we love you.
Thank you so much, and it's great. She's like I said, we stay in touch quite a bit.
That's awesome.
She's great. I think the world of her. It's nice to see, because her world is tours and events and all the things that went away with COVID, and it's great to see that she's really booting up. Lots of events in the Pike. I think I think that she actually told me, which was interesting. I'm not sharing anything that is confidential.
Yeah.
She told me that much like so much stuff in this country, that a bunch of the pyro stuff is like hard to get.
Oh, of course.
That because so many of the pyrotechnicians kind of shut down during COVID, and they just stopped making this stuff.
Yep.
And now that it's booting back up, that all of a sudden there's this huge shortage of stuff. So that to me is probably the hidden story in all this COVID stuff, is all of the crazy shortages. And I mean, from, we had a coin shortage, we got rubber shortage, we got superconductors, we got chlorine for pools. Now we recently had the gas shortage. There's going to be energy issues, obviously pyro stuff. I mean, the list goes on
furniture.
And on, all these things. Yeah. Furniture. I mean,
wood, lumber.
Yeah. Wood, lumber. I mean, the list goes on, these are chicken, by the way, chicken.
Yep,
there's a chicken shortage. So that's the story I find the most interesting. Like, how long will it take to recover from all of the ramifications? And will we ever fully recover from those things, or will there just be a different level of like what we accept?
Yeah.
Will we accept wood prices being 3 times what they've been? Now they're 4 times. So it's like if they cut back by 25%, I don't know. I mean, I talked to our glass guy the other day, and he was, contracting to have a house built, and he said that it's already went up $7,500 just because of wood prices. Same house, same exact house. The contractors come back and said, I know we quoted you this price, but if you want us to build it, it's going to be $7,500 more.
Yeah.
Can you imagine paying $7,500 for the same thing that you already have a contract with?
Yeah, but it's like there's nothing they can do. Like, you can't afford the materials.
Yeah, it's like either you do it or you pay
don't have a shed.
$7,500, or we just don't go. That's the way it goes. So and then they're saying it could be a couple years.
Oh, easily,
before we're getting back
easily.
to it. So it's like, do you wait? You go, $7,500 is, I just won't build a house for 2 years.
And then who knows where the market's at that point. It's like right now you might be better off building it now and just selling it and make your money and buy a new one later. I don't know, but
but it's great to see that concerts are coming back and life is coming back and at least in America and certainly in some countries that are getting there, and I think that the rest of the world will catch up. There's a new mRNA, by the way, mRNA vaccine that's coming out that is supposed to be super cheap and not have to be stored at super cold.
So you can do it in a lot of third world countries.
So they're saying that the underdeveloped world can potentially get done. But did you know that there's 1.3 billion shots have been given already?
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
1.3 billion.
That's a 1/5 of the world.
That's a lot. shot, man. They've crushed it, man. And Noah, I'm proud of him. He got it today.
Yeah, hell yeah,
So he
dude.
got his first shot today.
We're getting there, baby.
Our bubble is starting to grow quicker and quicker. He was one of the ones that wasn't in the bubble yet. So I'm glad to have him on board, and it's great to slowly see that. And I know some people hate that I'm a vaccine guy, but hey, listen, care. I'm a science guy,
Yeah, I'm a science guy, and I got
science.
14 vaccines before this one, so it's okay.
I know. Did you hear about the chick, by the way?
No, I didn't.
We haven't punched anything up, so I'm going to punch this up. Say woman gets 6 vaccines.
No, she was collecting?
No, she wasn't. This is even worse.
What do you mean?
So maybe news, maybe.
Women get 6 doses?
Yeah, women get 6 doses by accident.
What? Who did this?
They literally,
Where was this?
a vial that you see right there.
Yeah.
It's got 6 dosage. Somebody drew all 6 and jabbed this chick with all 6 of them.
My lady did that too. I thought it was just the one dose.
Yeah, I thought it was just
I'm
one.
not kidding, Brian. She gave me that whole fucking thing, baby. I'm fucking ready to go.
You don't have to. Yeah, Jay can't get sick on.
Oh, dude.
Jay can't even get fucking herpes
No,
anymore.
dude. I've been having people just breathe right in my face, man.
He's even immune to the herpes.
I've been going to birthday parties of people I don't even know just so they can blow the candles near me.
That's what I said. I said I literally went over to next door when the CDC lifted the mask mandate. I went to the gas station next door and I licked the counter. I literally licked the counter. I'm like, there you go.
Sally's like,
I
what
could
the fuck is going on?
I could do anything I want. I can lick anything I want now.
I'm free.
But no, it's but yeah, 1.3 billion dosages. That's crazy. And
huge.
And this chick got 6 of them all at once. So
Yeah, cheater.
see, that's why we have such an abundance of vaccines that they're just jabbing people with 6 at a time.
It's something I always laugh at about America, right? Because it's like you have like countries where they can't even find water, right?
Yeah.
And then we have water parks. Like we just
Oh
play in
my
it and
gosh,
piss in
yes.
it. And we're just like, woohoo!
Do you know that one time, it was before you were on board?
Yeah.
I did our typical setting up egg boxes, right? Colubrid, vermiculite, and I took some shit online from someone.
Running
like,
the
I can't
water?
believe you didn't shut the water off between.
You bigot.
I'm like, here we got, we're Great Lakes, we got fucking water everywhere here,
We can't get rid of it.
But you don't realize that there are some places in the world that
Even in our country, I mean, California for a long time, you couldn't take more than a 5-minute shower, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, the abatements, but yeah, no. So the question I have is that if you got jabbed with 6 dosages, like, do you need a booster? And if you do need that booster in 4 weeks, do they give you 6 again?
They gotta.
Or they give you just 1?
No, dude, you can't have a booster. You had 6 doses of the vaccine. You're fucking crazy.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I wonder what I'm so curious what the follow up is on this.
You gotta have like some crazy immunity to other shit at that point. Like,
he becomes Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But no, I just vaccine lady.
The VL.
Oh my gosh, she's the next super. Now Marvel, if you're listening, you should definitely make
pay us for that idea.
You should definitely make a series on Netflix.
Actually,
about vaccine
that'd
lady.
be funny. But that would do to fucking vaccines what Jaws did to sharks.
But you know what I mean? You got to wonder, like, somebody has to have that conversation, right?
Oh, yeah, we should.
I mean, someone's got to have the conversation. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Is she done? Does she need a second shot?
And I mean, I don't really know what that means. Like, does that even mean, like, do you get extra?
You know
what I'm saying? Like, so think about what a vaccine is, right? Like, you're making your body like, hey, read these spike proteins. Let's figure out how to create an antibody that kills it, right?
Right.
Does having more do anything? I think you would just have worse symptoms in the sense your immune system would want to get it out quicker. Like, oh, there's a big problem,
Yeah, and that's what I don't know. And then you would say, did your immune system spike so much that you don't need a booster? And
like
I said, if you do need a booster, you just get the 1 shot, or do they give you the 6 shots again?
That's classic.
I don't know.
Damn, son.
Can we rail this in?